do a little networking and see some new faces, so thanks for coming this morning. This morning we have Amy Kerr, who's going to give us a review of the Newtown Historical Society. Amy's been co-president with her husband Tim Kerr for the last couple of years, although I think Amy's really the active person in that organization at this point. And she's going to give us an overview of Newtown Historical Society. Just a little bit of background that I was able to pick up. Amy is, what is it, curator or at the...
Yeah, I'm the assistant curator up in Washington, Connecticut of the Gun Memorial Museum.
Yeah, so she's very experienced in this field, and really looking forward to hearing from you today.
Thank you. Well, before I begin, I do want to thank Tim and the Chamber for the opportunity to speak. The Newtown Historical Society is a new member of the Chamber, and we've certainly appreciated the opportunities that you've been giving us to let everyone know that we provide the service to the community, that we do have a museum on Main Street, we're there, and certainly let everyone know that we're there to serve the public. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about why history matters, which is a little bit of an interesting topic, because I think history as a whole, especially in school, is seen as a subject that is boring and tedious and meticulous and archaic. But I think in reality it really informs so much about our community identity. And really encourages a sense of civic identity and purpose even. And so I just really wanted to go over that a little bit. All right. So what is history? Why is it relevant? Why does it matter? Why should we care? As business owners, entrepreneurs, people that we work in all these different businesses in town, or municipal leaders, educators, how can we use history in a positive sense? And when we have all these demands and we're so busy, how can we incorporate this into how we operate as a community-based service and organization? And my first point in that is that everyone has a history. As a local business owner, municipal employee, or a nonprofit organization, we're all providing a service to the public, either by providing a service or a product. There is something that we are giving to Newtown that is something that we do that is unique to what we do. And I think as a part of that, how we do that matters. Whether we are courteous, whether we are fast, whether we are efficient, whether we provide a customer service that is, precedes our reputation, that matters, and how we do that matters. And that is a part of our history. That's a legacy that we create, and that's something that we nurture. That's our reputation. And so whether you are a historian, or whether you are an insurance agent, or you have your own business, your reputation precedes you. I keep hearing about Sal Pepe's restaurant, how he's almost been here for a decade, and everyone loves to go down here in South Main. That's history, and that'll become a part of our history. Whether the Chamber provides all these great opportunities, that's a part of that legacy, that's a part of that history. And in Newtown, we have a rich history of economic activity, whether it's through industry or agriculture or even retail. We used to have all these button and comb shops on Main Street and down in Sandy Hook, and I just think that that's something that's so rich, that is so unique to what we do, being and living in this community. So the first component of that is that we all have a history, and we all are in some ways contributing to what generations will know in the future about who we are as Newtown. The second component is about our civic life and the values that we impart to future generations. And that, I think, has really been informed by what I've seen living here. I'm still very new to Newtown. I've been here for about 2 years, and I've grown up with Tim, learning from him and his family, who's been here in Newtown forever, for decades, really. And I love this community, and being a part of the Newtown Historical Society has really helped me understand that better, and understand that part of the civic component of that and the kids. At the Newtown Historical Society, we have so many programs for children, and I do want to give a shout out to Barbara Wilson, who puts a lot of our programs together for education, for our public school districts. Our second graders go through our house every year, and every year our docents are just so encouraged and interested in seeing how these second graders, these 7 and 8-year-olds, are just fascinated by how Newtown used to be like. And part of that is encouraging and instilling a sense of civics, of civic responsibility, of duty, of I'm a Newtowner and this is really cool, you know. And even up to this day, we have middle schoolers and high schoolers be tour guides of our house museum on Main Street. And it's just great to see them really take ownership of the artifacts that we have there, of the archives that we own, of the stories of Newtown, of the legendary locals that we had. I mean, I wanted to draw attention to Dan's most recent book, and throughout here we have so many notable people that maybe weren't President of the United States, or maybe, you know, George Washington didn't sleep in our Matthew Curtis House Museum, but I mean, we have William Upham, who invented the tea bag. And maybe it doesn't seem exceptionally significant, but it's a Newtown significance. And we had the inventor of Scrabble, the developer of Scrabble, James Bruno, and all these like really interesting, almost like Yankee mentality and spirit of just entrepreneurial spirit and invention and just an active civic life, which I think is so important for those next generations that should be coming up. And then the third component of why history matters, I think, is actually the economic contributions to the town. And I'm going to speak very broadly about museums and what house museums do and how they look like. So museums as a whole, I mean, this is private and public, contribute about $21 billion to the U.S. economy. 78% of leisure travel, people that are engaging in tourism, do participate in cultural and heritage activities, whether it's visiting sites or museums or activities. And I know that our house museum, we do a good job of getting the word out to regional communities as well to come to Newtown and see what we're about. And we'll have any kind of activity from the Horse Guard in Newtown camping out on our front lawn there on Main Street, or the 5th Connecticut Regiment staging a reenactment, or having Shirley Ferris from Ferris Acres Creamery come and demonstrate a little bit about the history of Ferris Acres and ice cream making throughout history. I mean, these are not only regional and local, but I mean statewide educational opportunities that we're giving, and people are coming to that. People are seeing that. Our antiques market, for instance, which we held on Fairfield Hills for the first time, brought in over 1,000 visitors from all over. These are people that are eating at your restaurants, buying at your local shops, and just learning more about Newtown. And the more that people are realizing that what Newtown's about and visiting and coming, I think the more that we increase our profile just as a community, which I think is great. So that's my very brief introduction to why I think history matters. I do want to talk a little bit about the Newtown Historical Society, just a quick plug. So we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and just out of curiosity, how many of you know that we exist? Okay, about half here. How many of you know that we have a house museum on Main Street, right across the street from the bank, that is open to the public on a monthly basis? Great. I really want to encourage you to become involved, whether it's attending one of our events. We usually provide them free to the public. We have a monthly lecture series over at the library. I would also invite you to become a volunteer. I mean, we have so many opportunities for volunteers. You don't have to dress up in colonial costume. That is not a requirement to be a part of the Historical Society. We celebrate all components of Newtown history, whether it's colonial history, mid-19th century history, even contemporary history. Yesterday is Newtown history, and I really want to emphasize that as we move forward as an institution and as we really seek to become more relevant in the community, not just with our school children and our young professionals, but also with the businesses that have a really strong history. So again, I would encourage you to become involved, become a member, and this coming winter we'll have some more opportunities for businesses to become involved in supporting our mission and what we do to serve the public, because that is our primary goal and objective, is really to let everyone know that we provide the service, and that it's a really great way to get hands-on with history. I mean, when you walk into this house, you're going to see what history looks like, and that's a very unique objective that we have in comparison with, say, the library or the schools. You know, you really get to go in and experience that in a sort of object-based inquiry sort of way. So again, I want to thank everyone for coming, and I want to thank our board members for being here and supporting me, and the chamber as well. So thank you very much.